Well, I think it's going to be a gradual process going forward. I mean, I think for now we see the immediate downside risks definitely receding, and that gives us more confidence in our medium-term forecasts. So we do think that growth will be around 9.3% for this fiscal year, 7.9% the year after. Going forward, the medium term is what we're focused on, and we do see 6% growth thereafter, allowing the overall debt to GDP levels to stabilize at around the low 90 percentile range. That's still a very high level of debt for a BAA country, but we are confident that it will stabilize at those levels. Whether or not we see prospects for a further upgrade going forward really depends on how growth performs and how growth will be able to maybe potentially bring down those debt levels from those very high levels going forward.
And do you have numbers and targets in mind where if you think India could get back to those levels in terms of honoring those macroeconomic variables that you would look at upgrading once again India's sovereign rating?
Well, probably not specific numbers in mind, but as I mentioned, that level of 90 to 92% debt to GDP is very, very high for a BAA credit. So some indication that those levels will begin to consolidate would be a step in the right direction. And I think the prime driver for that would be higher levels of nominal growth above what we're expecting in our baseline.
And one thing, Gene, we've been speaking to guests from India about this week is this possibility that we're either in it or we're expecting to see a third wave of the coronavirus. The second wave, of course, was devastating. How much would this cause you to reassess your position?
Yeah, we do think that that remains a downside risk. On the other hand, we have seen vaccination levels continue to climb in India, and we think that there have been some lessons learned from the response to the second wave. So obviously there is going to be a human cost if there is a third wave, which is tragic in and of itself. But to the extent that the government can contain the economic impact, we do think that capacity has improved. And so that remains always a downside risk that we do see further resurgences of the virus. But for now, we think that we have seen the second wave go through. We're not changing our growth forecast for now. So I think that the third wave risks may be mitigated to some extent.